I'm going to demonstrate how to do an uneven corner radius. And what I mean by that is shown on this die line here. This is a corner radius on a tuck flap, and it's 9.74 high, but 7.21 wide. So that is reflecting an oval, not an actual circular, perfect circle radius. And I want to get that accurate. I don't want to create a radius that is skewed. I'm just going to draw a box here, but in order to make sure I'm working in the proper units so that I don't have to keep entering I'm just going to go to my Illustrator menu and settings or preferences, units, and change that to millimeters. And with my rectangle tool selected, I'll just click, and I'm going to enter, in this case it says 183, and I'll do by 75 just for the demonstration. So I can easily change, using the live corners, I can change the radius of this. I can do all corners at once just by clicking and dragging when I've got it selected with my main selection cursor, or I can use my direct select and select a single corner and adjust it like that. But we need to be very accurate in this case. This is down to fractions of a millimeter. So I'm going to just go back to my direct select, and I'm going to first use the larger of the two dimensions. In this case, that's 9.74 high. So I'll double click. This allows me to quickly set one of the radiuses, and it'll bring up my transform tool or transform panel. If you don't have that up, you can go to window and just go down to transform. And I'm going to enter in that corner with the link deselected. I'll just enter here 9.74. And that at least gives me one of the two measurements I need. I'm going to zoom in on that, and one of the things, sometimes this is done incorrectly as a skewed radius, and very quickly that's sometimes done by making a box that would be, in this case, 7.21 by, I'll just do the 9.74. And I'm going to go to Command Y to bring it into line art mode. And the reason I say this is incorrect is because some will use a jig to do this, and they'll just drag the anchor point like that. Now that looks like it's right, and we're working with such small measurements that it's going to look so close, but it's actually not technically a proper radius. It's a skewed radius. It's like taking an ellipse, an oval, and kind of doing this. You're making an incorrect radius. Everything else in that geometry isn't reacting with it. So we want to make sure that we do that technically correct as a proper radius. So I'm going to delete that, go back. So that's my original radius that I made. And I'm going to go to my ellipse tool, and I'm actually going to make an oval that has the 7.21 by 19.74. So I'll click on that, and I'm going to make the width, because we're talking radius, from the center point to the perimeter, I have to double it. So I'll do 14.42. That's 7.21 times 2. And I think it will be 19.48. That's 7.94 times 2. So there's our oval, and what we really want from this is this corner right here. So I'm still in Command Y, still in my preview mode. I'm just going to make sure that that snaps right into the corner. So you can see, even if I grabbed this anchor point and I dragged it over, I'm just holding Shift when I do that, it's obviously not a proper radius, and that's what we don't want to do. I'm going to undo that. So I'm going to first, with my direct select, delete that rounded corner from my box. So that's the one I don't want. So just to make sure, you can click off and then click back on with your direct select cursor. Click back on that corner and delete it. And then I'm going to drag across my oval those 2 anchor points to eliminate everything I don't need from it. Now that remaining piece, this here, is what I want to join to the rest of my die line, the rest of the box in this case. So I'm going to use my direct select, drag across those 2 anchor points, one there, and do Command J for join, or you can go to the object menu down to path and join. But remember, we still have one here. It looks joined, but it's not, so we have to make sure that's joined as well. So I'll drag across that, Command J, and now we have a proper radius. I'm going to do Command Y again, and I'm going to drag this over my existing die line just to make sure it's accurate. There we go. So that's a proper radius.